Welcome to the Godly Playroom. I'm Sherry Krause, and I'm here in the Godly Playroom in First United Church in Wetaskiwin. And I have with me here today Ruth and Jackie. And the story I'm going to tell today is a Godly Play story, copyright, and it is used with permission. So to begin with, let's light our candle. There was someone who did such amazing things and said such wonderful things that people would follow him. And when they followed him, they would ask him questions. And one day someone asked, "Who are you?" And he said, "I am the light." It's really wonderful having you all join me here today. But I think we're going to get right into the story. You have to be really ready to get into a parable. Are you ready? This box is very gold. Maybe there's something really precious in it, like gold. Parables are very precious like gold. I wonder. This box has a lid. Sometimes parables are like doors, have doors, and they're hard to open. Even when you're ready. But don't be discouraged. Just keep coming back again and again, and someday that parable will open for you. It's kind of like a present. Maybe you got some of those this Christmas. Parables are presents. They were given to you even before you were born. Even if you don't know what a parable is, it is yours. It looks old. Parables are old. They're older than you, and they're older than me. They're even older than your grandmother or your grandfather. They are almost 2,000 years old. I wonder if it is a parable. I guess we'll have to open it and see. Very brown. There's no blue, there's no green, it's just brown. Kind of scratchy. I wouldn't want to wear anything made out of this. Sort of like maybe a potato sack or a gunny sack. Now it looks like a field that's been plowed and hasn't been planted yet. Well, it's pretty hard to know what this could be when it's just brown. So I hope there's something else in the box that can help us tell the story. I wonder what that could be. A hot dog?
Band-Aid.
A Band-Aid. A Band-Aid for an elephant?
Maybe.
Toffee.
Toffee, yes. I always think of toffee too when I see those. A big long piece of toffee.
Scarf.
Oh, it could be a scarf. It is nice and soft, not like this scratchy one. I would wear something made from this. But it's brown too. Maybe it's a fence and you could jump over it.
Or a log across the canyon.
Oh, a log. Oh, that you would go across a big deep canyon. Oof. I don't think I'd want to do that. What else do we have here? Ah. So it's a road going from this place to that place. What are these? They are very black. There's no light in them at all. They're like shadows. Once, there was someone who said such wonderful things and did such amazing things that people would follow him. And as they followed him, he would speak of many things. Sometimes they would ask him questions. One day, someone asked him what the most important thing in life is. And the man he asked said, "You already know." It is true, I do know. It is to love God and to love people like you would love your neighbor. Then the man paused and thought for a while. And then he asked another question. But who is my neighbor? The person he asked told this parable. Once there was someone who traveled on the road from Jerusalem to Jericho. As he traveled along, he was attacked by robbers. They hurt him. They took everything he had from him, and they left him by the side of the road, half dead. There was also a great priest of the temple on the road from Jerusalem to Jericho. When the great priest came to the place where the man had been hurt, had everything taken from him, and had been left by the side of the road half dead, he went to the other side and went along his way. There was also another person who worked in the temple on the road from Jerusalem to Jericho. He helped out the priests at the temple. He helped look after the temple, and he helped with the music. He was a Levite. When the Levite came to the place where the man had been hurt, had everything taken from him, and had been left at the side of the road half dead, he went to the other side and went along his way. There was also a person who was not from Jerusalem, but he was staying in Jerusalem. But he was from another country called Samaria. The people in Samaria do not like the people in Jerusalem, and the people in Jerusalem do not like the people in Samaria. When the stranger came to the place where the man had been hurt, had everything taken from him, and had been left at the side of the road half dead, he went to him. He put medicine on the places where the man had been hurt. He gave the man his coat. Then he put him on his donkey and took him to a place where he could spend the night. He even stayed all night with the man. And in the morning he paid the innkeeper enough money so the man could stay there until he was well. I wonder who was the neighbor to the man who had been hurt, had everything taken from him, and had been left at the side of the road half dead. Could it be this one?
No.
Jackie doesn't think so. What about this one?
No, unfortunately.
I hope our church people would act better.
Exactly. Yes, those are people from the church.
Yes. What about this one?
No.
That was one of the
Robbers.
robbers.
That's what I thought.
What about this one?
The stranger.
The stranger.
I wonder who the neighbor to this one. That's a little bit harder. Not so easy. Do you think it could be this one? What about this one? It's hard to know who could be a neighbor to that one. What about this one? That's a hard one. I wonder who could be a neighbor to this person. I wonder what this story would be like if the people in it were women instead of men.
I hope it would be different.
I don't know. I wonder if the person who found the injured man, I wonder if that was a child, what the story would be like.
I would hope they would just respond, period, but.
And although we tell our kids, right, not to approach strangers and do that, but to go and find someone.
To go find someone.
Yeah. Then I think that would be my hope, is that even if the person didn't feel comfortable stopping themselves, that they would arrange for somebody else or find somebody else who might go.
It is hard to know, like, some of those questions came up when I thought about it, if the person traveling was a woman alone.
Or an elder, right?
No, yes.
Or someone who had compromising issues that put them at risk for a variety of reasons.
And maybe this story would be very different in today, told today, rather than a long time ago. But I will start to put this story away now. And as I'm putting it away, you can think about what you might want to do in response to the story. So, we have the traveler, the Samaritan, great priest, Levite, two robbers, Jerusalem, and Jericho. Dark spaces, shadows, and the road. So if you haven't got your response materials ready yet, you can stop the video and go get them. Welcome back. I hope you found something to do in response. Today, I'm doing things very simple. I just really felt, I don't know why, but I wanted to use crayons. Ordinary old crayons. I haven't used them in a long time. And one of the things that really intrigued me in the story was the road. So I think maybe I'll draw a road. Brown road. But that road in that story was straight. But lots of roads I've been on have not been straight. They tended sometimes, especially before they made highways, the roads curved all over to go around things, around sloughs and around trees and around hills. And sometimes they went over the hills. So you never really knew when you were traveling on that road, especially if it was for the first time, what you were going to come across. What was going to be around that curve? Or what was going to be over that hill? Sometimes I like to take different roads, just so I can see what things are like on that other road. Sometimes if I haven't been on the road for a long time, things have changed. There's a new building, or somebody's removed some trees, or a slough that used to be there is all dried up, or... But you do want to be careful on those curvy, hilly roads. Because maybe when you go over that hill, there's a deer there. Or maybe some geese crossing the road. Sometimes I've heard people say that life is kind of like a road, or like a path, or a journey, or life is a highway. Now you know how old I am. So maybe that life that's like a road is kind of like this road, kind of all curvy and hilly. And you don't really know what's coming around the corner. Sometimes maybe it's something like a beautiful little forest of trees. Or maybe you go around the corner and hit a bump and get a flat tire. Stuff happens when you're traveling. But wherever you're traveling on your roads, there might also be opportunities for you to find somebody who might need your help. And you can lend a hand, or maybe an ear. Or maybe when you have that flat tire, somebody comes across and helps you out on that road. There's a lot of things I could add to this road. I added a few tufts of grass. I think I'll add, I do like seeing the ponds and sloughs. We'll make a pond there. Seeing what's in them. I always look for the muskrats or what kind of ducks are in there. There's the road. I think the curvy ones are a bit more interesting than the straight ones, though. Well, I hope you found something to do for your response. And now you can pause the video and we'll get ready for feast. Well, welcome back to a feast time. First, I'll clean my hands. And I hope you found a little something to have with me for your feast. We'll just say a little prayer. Thank you, God, for this feast and the water, and for the friends that are with me today. Amen. It's very good water. Today I just have a few nuts and some dried fruit. I'll just have a little tiny little bit today. Just thinking about our story about neighbors, it made me think of something that I'd read about when astronauts go to space and they see the world from a very different vantage point than we see it. And when they're far away, especially the astronauts that went all the way to the moon, when they looked back and they saw the Earth just hanging there, it changed them. Because they saw it as one ball hanging out in space. And they couldn't see any boundaries for the countries. It was just all one big neighborhood. So I wonder what you think you could do to be a neighbor to someone maybe in your family, or maybe at school, or at the place that you work, or maybe someone in another town or another city or across the country, or maybe somebody so far away that you will never ever see them, but you could still be a neighbor. Well, I think that's something to think about for this year, how we can do that. Well, I don't think I'll have too much peace today. I'm just going to set it aside so that we can change our light. Ooh. There we go. So you can see this light. It's just right here in this one spot. But if we change that light, I wonder where it will go. I wonder if it'll go across the room. Or maybe to another town. Or maybe another province. Maybe that light will go all the way around the world. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Be well. Goodbye.